Hey and welcome. This video is going to be about how to lose weight while being lazy. If you have an occupation where you don't move around as much, or you like to play video games all day long, or you are in a wheelchair and can't move around as much as most people, or you just don't really want to go to a friggin' gym, I have a dieting situation or solution for you that has worked for me in the past, and it's really very simple. Losing weight is about burning more calories than you take in, quite simply. It seems to be some sort of a mystery for most people, but in fact, it's really a mathematical calculation. A few things you want to know before you start dieting, though, is that 1 pound of human body fat is 3,500 calories, and the average human body burns 1,000 to 1,400 calories simply staying alive. This is repairing damaged body parts, um, having your organs function, pumping your blood, just basically existing. Now, below in the comments section, I'm giving you a metabolic calculator to help you determine how many calories you burn in a given day and how many calories you burn not only based upon your weight, height, and age, but also your activity level. And you're going to need to know this figure to make this system work. Before we continue, let me give you an example. Take myself, for example, 45 years old, 200 pounds, 5'6". Okay, an individual like me could burn about 2,400 calories in a given day. That's about 100 calories an hour. Now, if my body requires 1,400 calories to simply exist, and I burn 2,400 calories in a 24-hour period, that's 1,000 calories in the middle that I can play with. Um, if you add 2 to 400 calories to the 1,400 and you spread them out correctly, that will give you a way to intake a small amount of calories without feeling starving or with the stomach grumbling and things like that. So in order to help you with this, I'm going to include that calculator in the comment section below. Please use that to get your base metabolic rate and your burn rate for calories, given your age, your weight, and your height. Now, in order to make this process easier for you, I'm going to spend the remainder of this video, and I really do hope that you stay to the end. I'm going to spend the remainder of this video giving you some tips and tricks to make this process easier, less painful. This is work. This is going to take some effort on your part. Some of this is not going to be enjoyable, but it's going to be painless considering it's a lot easier to do than going to a gym and running on a treadmill. And of course, it's possible for those of us who cannot run on a treadmill or sit and work at an office for many hours at a time. The first tip I want to give you is you must eliminate all soda from your diet. A lot of people don't really realize that each can of 12-ounce soda contains 16 to 18 teaspoons of pure sugar, or the equivalent of sugar in fructose and other sweeteners. That is I don't want to swear, but that's a hell of a lot of sugar. And you might say, well, Ernie, why don't I just use a diet drink? I mean, diet drinks is 0 calories. Well, the problem is your body runs on the metabolism, and your metabolism is guided by several things. One of those things is your insulin level, and your body can be tricked into processing less calories uh, during the course of the day if you take in a substance like a diet soda that makes your insulin level artificially high. So your body is tricked into thinking, let me process the insulin but instead it will ignore the calorie intake that you're getting from your regular meals. And as a result, your metabolism will actually slow down and you will start to gain weight rather than lose it. So, diet drinks are really not the answer to cutting down your calorie intake. Instead, what you want to do, and this is, you're going to say, Ernie, this is really disgusting. It's not disgusting. How would I put it? When you're used to drinking soda, drinking something that has even a minimally smaller amount, a minimally less amount of taste, it's kind of off-putting. But what I tended to do was, my doctor said, why don't you just switch out of soda and drink water? And I said, well, I really don't want to drink something with zero taste to it. So on my own, I decided I would start to drink um, seltzer water, flavored seltzer water, like brands like Polar and brands like that, where I get a little bit of taste and I get a myriad, a variety of taste, but zero calories. And at first, I'm going to tell you the truth. I mean, I know you're sitting there and you're about to comment that really that stuff tastes like crap, Ern. And I have to admit, I really agree with you. At first, it's terrible when compared to the taste of soda or something sweeter that you're used to eating. But after a while, your body does adjust, and your taste buds will adjust accordingly, and you'll start to enjoy that. And one of the reasons why I use seltzer water instead of just regular water is because I kind of got addicted to the feel of carbon, CO carbon in my drinks, carbonated drinks, and I like that mouth feel, and I felt that I was missing that when I was drinking regular drinks. Uh, Healthier drinks. So I switched to the 0 calorie polar seltzers, and that seemed to work quite well for me. And as I said, you really need to get away from the use of diet drinks because that fools your body into thinking that you're taking in sweetness and calories when in fact you're not. But it really doesn't help eliminate fat that is already stored in the body. So that doesn't get you anywhere. It's like running in place when you're drinking diet soda. And also, it fools your brain into thinking, well, if I'm drinking diet soda, that's 0 calories. And your body tends to replace that 0 calories by getting larger meals. And we'll talk about larger meals a little bit further on in this video. Another substitute for soda that you want to stay away from is concentrated drinks like orange juice or Hawaiian punch. You might think, and I've seen people do this on dieting shows that I watch on TV, they'll go and they'll drink Hawaiian punch or they'll drink Sunny Delight or something like that, and they'll say, well, I've been drinking this and it's not soda and it's healthy. It's orange juice and it's punch and there's fruit juice in it. The label says fruit juice on it. Why am I not losing weight? Uh, the fact of the matter is that most of that is concentrated, and when you're drinking a concentrated drink, you're drinking a lot of sweeteners, a very small amount, if any, juice, a lot of chemicals, and a lot of waters and fillers, and you're actually consuming more calories than you would if you just went to the supermarket, grabbed some apples or some lemons and limes, oranges, etc., threw them through a blender, and blended them yourself. So that is not the answer either. Another thing you want to do is when you are eating packaged goods, snacks, particularly crackers or chips, if you've got a large bag of those chips and you're watching a movie, for example, do not sit there with the open bag. Please move a serving from the bag to a bowl or some other smaller container, because oftentimes you're sitting there watching that movie and you're just automatically going to put your hand in that bag and you're going to continue to take a chip, another cracker, another one, and another one while you're watching this movie. And soon you're going to get to the end of that package and you're going to be, oh my God, you're not even going to think about how many calories you've actually eaten because you're not conscious of how many chips you've put in your mouth. Let me give you an example of this. On the back of a large bag of Doritos, you'll see that a serving size of Doritos is 130 calories. And in the large bag of Doritos, you'll have approximately 10 to 15 servings. If you do the math, what this actually breaks down to is 10 calories per tortilla triangle. So what you'd want to do is instead of taking that big party bag or even that small big grab bag you see there which says big grab on it or one person size or whatever, even in a one person size bag of Doritos, unless it's a very small bag that you might get from a vending machine, it's going to contain more than one serving of the product. Just keep in mind that if you like Doritos, you're going to be eating 10 calories per triangle. So if one serving is 130 calories, you take a small bowl or a cup, even like a mug, like a coffee mug, and you take out 13 triangles. Now, this may go, Ernie, this is ridiculous. But trust me, this is really important. Because if you're not aware of how many calories you take into your body, you're not going to be aware of what is required to eliminate the excess calories and lose the weight. So it's very important to know serving sizes, calories per serving, and controlling how many servings of any product you're putting in your mouth at any given time. Another important thing you want to take into consideration is portion control. You'll notice anybody that has traveled to Europe that when you go out to eat or you go to a friend's house, a European friend's house or a foreigner's friend's house, that their dishes are literally, and I mean literally their dishes, are smaller than the average dinner plate you'll see in the United States. Dinner plates in the United States tend to be larger than the plates you'll find in Asia or Europe. We are not used to eating normal sized portions anymore. And this is particularly evident when you go to a restaurant. Oftentimes you get this large platter and you don't even realize that it's very large at all. Because number one, the dishes you have at home are large, and each one at the table gets their own dish. And you're not aware that in fact you're probably eating two, three, or sometimes even four times the recommended portion size for the type of food that you're eating at a restaurant. So one tip I would give to you is that whenever you order an entree at a restaurant, order an entree that somebody else at the table also likes, and then you could have two smaller dishes and break it up. And don't be afraid to take anything home with you. You don't have to eat it all at once. And if you look at the dishes very carefully, you will see that I'm right about this. That these dishes are designed to look like normal plates, but in fact they are deeper, they are larger, and they fool you into eating a lot larger amount of food than the human body really requires in a single meal. And of course, they don't tell you how many calories. Some places do tell you how many calories, but it's staggering when you actually look at the calorie count and you look at the plate and go, how did all these calories get into this plate? Um, it's kind of mind-boggling. So what you want to do is you want to control your portion size, and don't go home and throw away all your dishes. What you can do is plan your meals whereby half or maybe even a little more than half of your plate is covered with vegetables, and then a third or a little less is a protein like a meat, fish, or tofu if you're vegetarian. And then you want to have maybe a starch or something smaller than that, or maybe even skip the starch entirely. And all during this process, you want to be drinking plenty of water fluids or your your what is that thing again? Your seltzer water, whatever it is that you want. That's a 0 calorie drink. Another thing you can use to help you monitor the amount of calories you take in and keep your metabolism running, which is very, very important. During this dieting process, you want to keep your metabolism running at full force as long as possible. Is you need to restructure when you eat a large meal, and not only the size of your meals, but when you eat them and what you eat during the course of the day. For example, instead of eating your traditionally large breakfast, you might want to eat a smaller breakfast in the morning, eat your biggest meal for lunch when your metabolism is in full swing, and then eat something smaller at night so that you're not processing so many calories when you're sleeping still at night and you're not as active. Excuse me. Um, Also, in between these meals, you want to keep that metabolism going, so you want to eat a small snack in between your meals, like 3 saltine crackers. If you're not allergic to peanut butter, 1 teaspoon of peanut butter, or some very, very small snack like a piece of toast, etc., between these major meals. And it just keeps your metabolism constantly functioning and constantly burning calories. Finally, what you want to do is you want to chart what you take in every day. Literally write down everything you eat, everything you put in your body, write it down. And while you're planning your meals during the day, look at what you've already eaten. If you've eaten a lot, eat less for the remainder of the day. You want to keep your calorie intake somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,600 calories. And if you use the calculator underneath, you're going to find out how many calories you burn per day given your activity level, your age, your height, and your weight. Um, any wiggle room you can get between the amount of calories you burn during the day and the amount of calories you take in is going to be the amount of weight you're going to lose. Because you need to keep in mind that each pound of human fat is 3,500 calories. So if I burn 800 more calories than I consume, then I've lost a quarter pound in that day, or maybe a little bit more. And if I chart it, I'll have some sort of an idea of how much I'm going to lose in a single day. And if I can lose a quarter pound a day, my math kind of sucks, but that would be 4, maybe 5 pounds a week if you stick to this diet. Um, and you do all of this, and the key thing really here is to burn more calories than you take in. And an important thing you have to know, like I said in the beginning, is how many calories your body burns, what your activity level is, what your age is, your height, and your weight. Interestingly, the larger you are, the more calories you will burn simply staying alive. And this is one reason why people get frustrated dieting, because at first they're going to lose a lot of weight because they're burning a lot of calories because they weigh a lot. And then as they shrink, their body's burning less calories, but you're taking in the same amount of calories that you did when you began your diet, or you're not paying attention and you're cheating, or you're skipping, or you're doing one of the other mistakes we discussed earlier in the video, and the next thing you know, you're not getting anywhere and you get frustrated and you're off the diet and you're finished. Um, so like I said, just be careful of what you take in, understand what you're burning, and it's simple math. And if you pay attention to the math, um, it's physics. It's gonna happen. You're gonna lose weight, and you can do this literally sitting still in a wheelchair, like myself. I used to weigh 250 pounds. I'm still a big boy. I weigh 200 pounds now, but I lost somewhere in the neighborhood of 50 pounds in 3 months. And to prove to you that this is possible, if you look at the last video I had in this channel, and I could link that video at the end of this one, um, you'll see that I'm sitting in the same wheelchair I'm sitting in now, a green Permobil F3, and there's a shirt on me. And if you look underneath the shirt, you can see my stomach hanging down, literally almost to my lap, and I can't pull the shirt down. Now, the shirt I have on me now is smaller than the shirt I had on the day I made that video with my son. And I was kind of joking about my weight in that video, and it's kind of sad when you look at it, but you can literally see the excess fat coming out from underneath my shirt. And that's not the case anymore. I'm wearing a smaller shirt, and I'm pulling it all the way down to my waist. So this can happen if you have a low impact lifestyle. This can happen. You can lose weight sitting in a wheelchair or sitting in a seat all day or being immobile, and you don't have to go to the gym, bang iron, run a treadmill. And what if you can't? I mean, I literally can't. And I still lost 50 pounds. Please stay to the end of this video. Actually, the video is over at this point. But feel free to use the calculator in the comment section below and get to it. It's going to be easier than you think. Pretty much as an American, what we have to do, really, the biggest struggle in this entire process is really changing what you put in your body, the amount you put in there, and the composition of what you put in there. If you can do all of those things, being mindful of how many calories you put in versus how many calories you burn, and make constant minor adjustments by charting how much you eat, when you eat, and what exactly you eat, and stay the hell away from soda, diet soda, and concentrated fruit drinks. If you do all of these things, you're going to be okay. Have a good night. Oh, before I go, there's a little thing at the end of this video. Looks like a wheelchair parking sign. That's the right. That's the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button if you like this video. Please comment below. Let me know how dieting's going for you if you're having a problem with it. Let me know if this system works for you. And hopefully you'll give me a thumbs up. Check out the rest of my channel. There's only a couple of videos in the channel right now, and I do promise there will be more in the future. We are going to accelerate our production of videos. We're going to give it a try. So stick with me, and more is coming. All right? See you later.